So the first race happened and installed Ferrari Truther. Let's get ready. Oscar crashing out before the race even started was completely unexpected. Is the curse against Australian drivers at the Australian Grand Prix still going strong? I guess this year at least it is. That start was interesting to say the least. Leclerc got away very quickly. Another person though who had a very good start was Arvid Lindblad, got away extremely quickly and managed to make up quite a few places very early into the race. The first about 10 laps were extremely exciting. Like that fight between George and Charles was so interesting to watch. And I guess the people who were concerned about whether the cars would be able to follow as closely as they needed to get overtaking done in this new format were maybe wrong, because there was quite a lot of easy or relatively easier overtakes than I saw last season. Mercedes currently does have a bit of an edge, but this might be a delusional take. I don't think they have as much of a pace advantage as people think. Like, as we saw in this race, it wasn't as difficult as I think people were expecting for Leclerc, one, to get ahead of George and then to keep him behind for as long as he did. I do, however, think Ferrari's biggest weakness, as is always, their strategy. If you've seen my other video, you know how I feel about the strategists. Yes, I was joking a little bit, but sometimes they really make you question your will to live. Max, for me, he was the driver of the day. Like, to go from 20 to finishing in 5th is crazy, but it's not that crazy for Max. Haas was actually having a pretty good race. Obviously, they only had one car finish in the points, but overall not too far from the middle of the pack pace. And not to beat a dead horse, but to go back to Ferrari and Mercedes, they actually are the only team that finished with 2 cars finishing with points today. So obviously Hadjar unfortunately had to stop because of something out of his control. The car broke down, and that is very heartbreaking because, as we know, last year he also didn't complete the Australian Grand Prix because of a crash out. So very, very unlucky circuit for him as it stands. Unexpected moment that happened at the race today. Alonso retiring and then coming back out and then retiring once again. Speaking of retirements, unfortunately, Valtteri had to retire as well. And then speaking of him, his teammate, that bust up between Checo and Liam Lawson. No love lost between those two, clearly. At the end of the day, the best man won. George is, of course, our victor. And a Mercedes won too for the first time since 2019, which is crazy, and without Lewis Hamilton for the first time since 1995. So I think they waited their turn. And to end off, a special shout out to that diva of a Mercedes fan. You know who you are. I saw you at the end there, girl. Queen. Those are my thoughts on the race and what my projections are for the rest of the season going forward. Who are you? Are you happy Mercedes won? Are you hopeful that your team will make a comeback? I'll see you in the next one.